Highway.
Telephone.
Democracy.
Binge pipe. We're just another thing. Don't worry about it.
Coming soon to Binge Pipe, this.
The walls! They're bleeding!
Oh my god! The microwave screen just told me the time and date of my death!
You know, Coop, I thought my wall thing was pretty scary. You didn't have to one-up me.
Now streaming, an original horror film about a couple who moves into a haunted house way too early in their relationship.
We should leave. Unless you don't want to.
No, we'll do whatever you want to do.
Well, I want you to make a decision.
Whoa. Hold on. I picked dinner last night.
Their lack of communication is downright scary.
I need to get out of here. I'm going to my book club.
I'll go with you.
Leave. Leave room for your own interests.
But Alice's friends love me.
Maybe we should hear the ghost out.
He's always on your side.
There's no sides here.
Available on Valentine's Day. Our family has been in the business of trees for what seems like forever. My father had it passed down from his father as many generations as there are, well, rings on this here tree. Now it's up to me.
Binge Pipe is chill and distant about bringing back You Don't Know Jack. Binge Pipe. Please like us.
I'm Cookie Masterson, and I will be your guide. Now close your eyes, take my hand, and jump! Player one, I like your odds. And so it begins.
Time for question one.
To get started, I scream, you scream, we all scream because existence is pain. What would be the best evidence that I fell into a shame spiral last night and ate half a gallon of Ben & Jerry's ice cream in the dark in my underwear? Hypothetically. 2 empty pints of pistachio, 4 empty pints of urban bourbon, 8 empty pints of spectacular Speckaloo's cookie core, or 16 empty pints of keep caramel and cookie on. And how'd we do? No, that's not enough. It was this one all along. There are 8 pints in a gallon, which means 4 pints in half a gallon. So that's what's currently strewn on the floor next to the couch I've been sleeping on, hypothetically.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Next, first I'd like to spank the Academy. Which movie won an Oscar for Best Picture in 2006? A film with the same name as a group of crows, a film with the same name as a group of rhinos, a film with the same name as a group of bees, or a film with the same name as a group of sheep? Hope you like what you picked. Bad job. This would have worked. A group of rhinos is called a crash, and the Paul Haggis film Crash won Best Picture in 2006. Brokeback Mountain should have won. It's taken 12 years of therapy for me to get to a point where I can say that plainly and without anger, but Brokeback Mountain should have won. Okay, I've said it. It's done.
Why don't we do it with free?
This one's known as My Brother, and P. And Shrimp Heaven now, it's a dis or dat. I'm going to list 7 names, and for each I need you to tell me if it's a popular podcast on the Apple Podcast charts or an adult incontinence product. Don't think too hard. I'm only giving you a few seconds to decide between a podcast or a poo solution. Here it comes. Always discreet. Fresh air. The Daily. Wellness brief. 99% invisible. voice pads. S-Town. At least you'll always have this. All right, let's move on.
I don't need you anymore.
Let's try screaming for merci. What would be a geographically accurate subtitle if FX did a spin-off of American Horror Story called French Horror Story? FHS Frankenstein's Monster, FHS Opera Phantom, FHS Headless Horseman, or FHS Dr. Jekyll Slap? So what'd you pick? This has suddenly turned very ugly. Y'all ready for this? The Phantom of the Opera was originally published by French author Gaston Leroux in 1909. I'd watch French Horror Story just in hopes of seeing a haunted bidet. Coming up next, what's the deal with this joke setup? What would be the name of a web series where Jerry Seinfeld picks up different comics in a truck on the way to grabbing a fermented drink? Comedians in sailboats getting horchata, comedians in lorries getting kombucha, comedians in carriages getting kefir, or comedians in hot air balloons getting bubble tea? Okay, let's take a look. A lorry is a truck, and kombucha is a fermented sweet tea. And comedian is another word for unemployed, according to my mother. Round one is over. This has been good for me so far. Is it good for you? Oh, and did I mention all the money's doubled in round two? Okay, buckle in.
6 trombones is not a parade.
It's time for Prepare to be softly rocked. What's the softest rock? The Talking Heads, Quartzny Love, Gypsum 41, or Marina and the Diamonds? I love this part. Dreadful choice, totally wrong. Here's what a right answer looks like. Talc is a 1 on the mineral hardness scale, which means you can scratch it with your fingernail. I love rocks so soft it gets stuck in your head and under your fingernails.
Je trouve Jerry Lewis seulement légèrement amusant. 7.
This one's called Octopus Coffee, Queen Elizabeth, or Frankenstein.
Octopus, coffee, Queen Elizabeth, or Frankenstein. It's monster.
Correctly predicted 7 World Cup matches. Octopus, Coffee, Queen Elizabeth, or Frankenstein. Let's see how that shook out. No. Want a hot tip on a right answer? Paul the Octopus correctly predicted all 7 of Germany's World Cup matches in 2010 by picking a food container in his tank with the team's flag on it. In other news, Frankenstein was 0 for 7.
'Twas then I learned to heed the winds of 8.
Up next, what do I do with all this frankincense? And Dress Up Kit's Dime Store.
It's time for a
Get those typing fingers ready, because the longer you take, the less money you make. Okay, focus up. Look at the gibberish phrase and tell me what popular game it rhymes with. Group Myrrh, trash others. And don't worry about that punctuation. They're all iconic characters. And they excel at fighting. The awesome battling video game siblings. Let's make sense of this, shall we? Moving right along. And now, you don't BoJack. What would depressed cartoon actor BoJack Horseman have to be willing to put up with to get a part in the play Equus? A broken leg, gouged out eyes, a totally shaved mane, or castration? Okay, what'd you pick? The game wouldn't be fun if you got everything right. Speaking of correct answers, Equus is a famous 1970s play about a boy who is put in a mental hospital for blinding 6 horses. And it's still less depressing than an episode of BoJack Horseman. Why not try music you can laugh to? If someone put a fermata on their laughter, what would it sound like? Ha! Or ha ha ha! Let's see how that shook out. The preferred answer is, a fermata is when you hold the same note for longer than you normally would. It's challenging, but luckily, as a classically trained performer, I'm able to pull laughter from deep down in my... Well, you get the idea. It's time for the attack. Well, don't mind me then. Here's your clue. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Honestly, this one's the result of a sick mind. Good luck. That's all she wrote. Wow, I guess other players would have only slowed you down. Still, you managed to turn a negative into a positive. But that doesn't change the most important fact.
You don't know Jack!
Enjoy this exclusive behind-the-scenes content from You Don't Know Jack.